Good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Today is a special day because we're launching the next major version of Nextcloud Talk. It's 15 years ago that I started to develop this software. At the beginning, it was only a hobby, of course, but I had a gut feeling that we move into a future that is not so good, that we have just a handful of big tech companies who control all our communication, have all our documents. This is not so good. We need something better. Something that's open source, something that's self-hosted and decentralized, provides great security, performance, and a great user experience. At the end of the day, giving users back control over their data. Today we know that it's no longer just a gut feeling, of course. We see all the political problems in the world, but a little bit more about this later. I'm really happy that we have this incredible community around Nextcloud. Tens of millions of users, thousands of contributors, and we really built Nextcloud together. Nextcloud is the most deployed collaboration software in the world today. Now, as we look back at the years of hard work, collaboration, and innovation, we achieved so much more than I ever imagined. Thanks to all of you, to our awesome community. It's our shared success. This is not just a solution, but this is a movement for more privacy, security, and decentralization. I'm most proud of our values, of course, and that did not change.
We believe privacy is a fundamental human right, and everybody should have access to secure communication free from surveillance.
We are building decentralized products as an alternative to centralized platforms. People can choose what they want and where they want it.
We believe in open source and open standards. Open source is the only way for users to trust their devices.
We value sustainability, protecting people, society, and the environment.
We believe accessibility is a fundamental human right and technology should be accessible to everyone.
The time of our users is very important to us. That's why we do our best to make Nextcloud easy to use.
We foster diversity, from innovation to transparency and collaboration. Working with our community and supporting marginalized people leads to a better result.
Let's address the problems. Unfortunately, we have a lot of challenges and political uncertainty in the world today. Old relations falling apart, we have tariffs, we have sanctions threatening organizations and users. By relying on the big tech companies, public and private sector lost control over communication. We hear three major concerns from customers. The first problem we hear is vendor login, making them depend on a few big tech companies. Vendor login is of course a strategy of these organizations. This is not a coincidence. Getting data out is hard or impossible, so we really depend on these companies who cannot really get out. So prices can be increased at any time, as we see. Sometimes something that's free, like Microsoft services for charities, gets suddenly cut or become paid. This is not a healthy free market. The second issue we hear is the risk of corporate espionage. Risk of others spying on our data is increasing. From Snowden, we know it's actually happening. Foreign spy agencies have a direct mandate for economic and industrial espionage. It must be possible for us to protect our critical data. The third risk we hear is the risk that clouds from overseas can be shut down at any time. We can see cases of sanctions against public organizations already, and this is not only happening for China or Russia, but also in Europe. The second thing is, of course, that the data privacy framework, which is essential for data transfer between Europe and the US, is on life support. This can fall apart at any time. So as organizations, we need strategic autonomy. And this is where Nextcloud is really different. It's fully open source and provides full digital sovereignty. You are in control. You can host it wherever you want. It's built by and for the community by thousands of contributors shaping the future of Nextcloud. It's the most scalable solution that works from very small up to big governments. It's easy to deploy, for example with Nextcloud All-in-One, security and privacy, and there are no compromises. It's easy to use with seamless experience across all apps. This release is focused on the needs of our users and customers. It provides full digital sovereignty. This is what we deliver with Nextcloud Talk. To show you all about it, hand over to Jos now.
Thank you, Frank. So, today we're going to talk about the new version of Nextcloud Talk. But to show the importance of this release for us, I want to look a little bit at where Nextcloud Talk fits in the wider market. Now, there are, broadly speaking, 4 different collaboration tools that people use. You have messengers, you have video conferencing applications, you have file sharing, and you have office suites. Now, over time, many different solutions have appeared on the market. Old people like me still remember IRC and sharing files on the Windows network drive. In the 2000s, new solutions came on the market like WhatsApp and Dropbox, and open source solutions came shortly after that, like Jitsi, Matrix, RocketChat, or Big Blue Button. Now, the pandemic really changed how the market works. The thing is, if you need to work from home all day long, a tool that is fine for a casual video call like Zoom or an occasional sharing of a document like Dropbox, that's not really good enough if you're working all day long. You need something that integrates these different functions into one thing. And this is, of course, where Microsoft came in. When they introduced Microsoft Teams, they brought chat, video calls, document editing, and file sharing all in the single, easy-to-use interface. And the result in the market has been pretty obvious. I mean, Dropbox has fired people, the stock of Zoom went down, Slack has losing its market share, but has also filed an antitrust complaint against Microsoft in the EU, and Skype doesn't even exist anymore. So there is a need for an answer to this solution from the open source community, and that is, of course, Nextcloud Talk. Now, these proprietary solutions are designed to lock you in and to extract maximum value from you as a customer. In contrast, Nextcloud Talk is designed to put you in control. It can run in a private cloud, which makes you more resilient to external disruptions. It protects your autonomy and your freedom of choice. Now, to show you what Nextcloud Talk can do, I would like to invite my colleague Kim to join.
So, as Frank and Joost just said, Nextcloud Talk is designed to let your team communicate and collaborate while you stay in control over your data. Nextcloud Talk is designed with 3 major use cases in mind. First, we have the team chat. Second, the video conferencing. And third, educational use like webinars or training. First, let's talk about team chat. Similar to platforms like Slack or MetaMost, it is designed to help teams collaborate throughout the workday across different chat rooms.
Yeah, so in Nextcloud Talk Munich, you can organize all your private chats, your groups, your team-wide channels and project conversations together. And then each of them you can text and you can share a variety of other content. You can run polls, you can link documents or send voice messages, and so on. So Nextcloud Talk works well with other apps, and you can directly interact with items through widgets. For example, you can scroll through calendars or linked Kanban boards, or you can browse and even edit documents right there live if you spot an issue.
The integrated AI assistant is designed to save your time. Translate messages, bring audio to text, and summarize your chats. For example, when you come back from a vacation, it is easy to catch up with what you've missed in all conversations. More than that, it can also summarize video calls for you. And of course, AI is optional in Nextcloud. And our ethical AI rating helps choose the right models for your AI features. Nextcloud Assistant is fully open source and can run locally where you want or with a provider you trust. And you can just connect OpenAI or DeepSeek service for working with non-critical data, of course.
Now, the second use case for Nextcloud Talk is video conferencing. A quick late-hour sync, a big company-wide meeting, or a call with an external partner is easily supported with the right tools. You can change views, you can share your screen with other people, and of course you can record calls. And you want to make sure that everybody consents to getting recorded, so you can ensure that this gets asked as well. For larger meetings, you can use the moderation tools to silence that user that calls from a cafe.
And there is a lot more ways to interact aside from presenting and talking. People can discuss in the live chat, reply to messages, or react with emojis and participate in polls, for example. During the calls, you could use the built-in collaborative whiteboard to let everybody brainstorm ideas and presenting them. You even have a virtual laser pointer for that.
People can dial into meeting rooms using a phone number and PIN, and you can also, as a moderator, dial people into the meeting by adding them through their telephone number. Nextcloud Talk also supports VoIP solutions with video like those from Cisco and integrate with a number of enterprise meeting technologies. Now, the third key use case for Nextcloud Talk is using webinars, education, training, etc.
Nextcloud Talk is often used for webinars and large web conferences with many hundreds of people. For this, it offers a series of moderation features, so you can manage the permission for participants and their roles and promote people to moderators. Invite people by email or guest link or import them via spreadsheet. You can also export participants during a session. Make your webinars, training sessions, and classrooms engaging. Use polls, draft, and pre-save them for quick posting, export to a file, and reuse in the later events. In your interactive sessions, you can also use breakout rooms to split the participants into smaller groups and later merge them.
Let's talk about Nextcloud Talk Munich, which we are launching today. So business, industry, and government are increasingly discovering and implementing Nextcloud Talk for their communication needs. We already have seen a triple growth in income and requests from potential customers. Now, these prospects tell us that the solution for team communication that they are looking for can deliver in 3 main areas. First, resilience. They want to be able to work uninterrupted by the current global developments like trade wars, sanctions, or cyber attacks. Second, productivity. They want to make sure that the product that they deploy helps their teams get the work done as efficiently as possible. And third, user acceptance. Introducing a new technology is always a challenge in IT, so it's important that the software is easy to use and fits what people needs. Now, let's go over these 3 points in a little bit more detail and of course talk about what we did.
Tools reuse non-stop over our working day need to continue functioning reliably and securely under various types of stress or change. Against security threats, performance load, legal changes or regulations, unpredictable costs, even product and service availability. To be resilient, you need to be in control of your compliance, security, your data, and your tools. So let's have a look. What does Nextcloud Talk Munich offer to give you that control? Nextcloud is your own private cloud collaboration platform, hosted privately wherever you want, within your own infrastructure or with a provider you trust, in a virtual private cloud or on a dedicated managed server. The self-hosted nature of Nextcloud Talk gives you full data ownership and extensive compliance features by design, high scalability, and many ways to integrate into existing infrastructure. Nextcloud is a fully open source solution. The world is built on open source. All major Silicon Valley players build on an open source stack, from Facebook to Microsoft. To Nextcloud, however, it is more than code. It is in our DNA. Where software as a server from a single vendor is like Coca-Cola, for example, where only they know the secret recipe of the product, our recipe is open. There are 500,000 servers running Nextcloud on the internet. A huge ecosystem that can help sustain your private cloud, no matter what happens.
So with 500,000 servers on the web, Nextcloud Talk is inherently decentralized, and the key to this is federation. Federation allows you to connect to users on a different Nextcloud server, seamlessly inviting them into a chat or into a call. Think, for example, of different federal government departments that each run their own Nextcloud. Their employees can smoothly work together without needing a second account to be able to collaborate. Of course, your communication, be it within your own Nextcloud, between Nextclouds, or with people who join through a public link, is always encrypted. We also support end-to-end encryption for calls, and there are other encryption technologies available, for example, also to encrypt your files. And if you are in an especially high security or compliance focused situation, you can run Nextcloud Talk completely air-gapped, in an isolated environment, entirely on premises and with no direct internet access. Collaboration then happens only within your tightly secured setup, for example, within a government agency team or a sensitive R&D department.
Now we have covered high level how Talk provides its customers with a great degree of autonomy and security. So let's go over a few things we worked on for this release. First, Secure View. Secure View allows you to share content with people without losing control. Say you want to show a document to a partner, but not let them download it. You can enable Secure View, which will block the ability to download the file and will show watermarks on the document itself.
So today we are bringing Secure View to Nextcloud Talk. In the settings, the administrator can choose to enforce Secure View on all shares with external people. So when you share a document in public, the external participants will not be able to download the document, and when viewing, they will always see watermarks. So this is what an external participant would see when enable this. The document is watermarked and downloading is prohibited.
The second feature we did here is a bit more personal.
Right. So sometimes you have a colleague looking over your shoulder when you're showing like a document, for example, or a video, and then a chat message pops up, and that's maybe something you didn't want the colleague to see. Or you look in chat and you're looking up like a chat room, the colleague is looking over your shoulder, and then there's a message visible because it was the last message sent.
Yeah, not great. So we introduced something for this. You can now mark a conversation as sensitive. You see that in the chat list for the highlighted human resource chat, which we have marked as sensitive. The last message, as you can see here, is not visible. And here you see notifications also do not show the content of the message.
So with that, we covered how Nextcloud protects the resilience of your collaboration platform. Next, let's talk about how we ensure your team is as productive as possible. So the first feature here we want to talk about is an update to our sidebar when you're in a one-on-one conversation. It used to show files, documents, tasks, and other things you have shared. Now, that's still the case, but when you're in a chat with Leon here, in the sidebar you can also see information about him. You can zoom in on his photo, his role in the organization, his location, the local time wherever he is, and upcoming shared meetings.
Next, let's say you are in your weekly one-on-one call with your manager. Something comes up and you want to pull, let's say, Sandra. We made this a little easier. Just click the icon for adding another person. Find them and add them to the conversation.
So, easy as pie. Now the third and biggest feature improvement in this section, for that I want to go back to the telephony integration we mentioned earlier. You can dial in with your phone to a chat room, or you can from a chat room dial out to somebody else via their phone number. Today we are bringing this to the next level.
We are introducing Nextcloud Talk Phone. This allows an administrator to map individuals to a phone extension number. Meaning, when someone calls you on your phone number, you can pick up directly from Nextcloud Talk.
Okay, and what if I'm out of office? That must be difficult.
Talk will automatically redirect the call to the person you've set as your out-of-office replacement.
Excellent. So, now we've covered the resilience of Nextcloud Talk Munich, and we've talked about productivity and all the features Nextcloud Talk provides for modern hybrid collaboration. That gets us to the third concern of our customers. Now, migrations to new platforms are always a major pain in any organization. When moving from a communication platform like Zoom, Teams or Slack to a more secure and private Nextcloud Talk, it is important your users quickly pick up the new collaboration tools. Nextcloud Talk Munich, after all, is not just strategic for your business. People need to like using it. So for this release, we try to lower the barrier to using.
Let's start with your first experience in Nextcloud Talk. When you open it up, you're greeted by an empty screen. For Talk Munich, we wanted to help users get started. So we introduced a nice dashboard. It gives you an overview of your upcoming meetings, recent chat messages and mentions, and the reminders you have scheduled for yourself.
Second, we introduce a change in how Talk handles chat rooms that are used for single conversations and meetings.
In Talk, calls always take place in rooms where you can chat and share notes or documents. So when you book a meeting in Talk or in the calendar app, a room gets created. And if you want, you could now, for example, prepare an agenda and post as preparation in that chat room. Talk will automatically add the participants to the room and fill in the title and description from the calendar invitation. That way, the participants could use the room to notify you in a change of plans or contribute to the agenda, for example. To avoid cluttering your list of conversations, Talk Munich will hide the conversation until the meeting is closed. You can, of course, always find it. There's an easy filter for meeting conversations. After the meeting, it can automatically delete the room. You can, of course, choose to keep the room and then archive it for later reference. And speaking of conversations, sometimes you have to make sure that even when you are on vacation, you don't miss super important messages. For that, you can now designate a conversation as important. Those messages will ignore Do Not Disturb and always come in, even on weekends or the evening, for example.
So, those are the three biggest improvements to make users' life easier. The new dashboard, better handling of meeting rooms, and the introduction of important conversations. Now, let's talk about the clients.
Nextcloud Talk has clients for the desktop, including Windows, Mac and Linux, and for mobile operating systems. They are designed to do everything our web interface does, from meetings and chat to screen sharing.
You can quickly share various files from your mobile devices, including photos. In the new app, we worked on the user experience, adding suggestions for quicker photo sharing. And of course, we improved the integration with the devices where you can use Nextcloud Talk Munich, including mobile, adding a number of device-specific features that are quite useful. iOS offers automation with quick commands via the Shortcuts app, and Nextcloud Talk now has good support for this. With the shortcut Set Status Message, you can create an automation that sets a custom status message For example, when you arrive at your office, and when you connect to the office Wi-Fi, it will automatically set the status that you're in the office, and then your colleagues know that you work from the office that day without you having to manually set your status. You can configure shortcuts and add them to your home screen, or even let Siri trigger them for you.
Now for the desktop client. First, of course, the new desktop client supports all the mentioned features for the web interface we have just talked about.
But we also improved the desktop integration a little bit further. First, you can now connect the status in Nextcloud with that on your desktop. That means that you're shown online in Nextcloud Talk when you're active behind your laptop, even when you're not necessarily in Nextcloud Talk sending chat messages.
So that's very helpful, so your colleagues know when they can expect a fast reply from you or not. The second thing we did is that you can see an unread message counter in the system tray and taskbar.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Now, last but not least, I think our customers will be happy to hear that branded desktop clients are also on the way.
Next, we want to highlight one more thing that will help introduction of Nextcloud Talk in your organization.
Right, that is customization. After all, every organization has different needs.
And so does every user. Users can adjust their settings like notification sounds, dark mode, and the way chats are organized. You can rename group chats, pin important conversations, and manage in-chat permissions to control who can speak or initiate calls. Manage your devices like camera and microphone, and now also choose the output device independently from system default.
If you're an administrator, you can get deeper control through the talk settings in the Nextcloud admin panel. Here you can enable features like, for example, enforcing recording consent so that no calls are recorded without the users approving before they join, and other privacy settings.
And there is one feature particularly helpful for education. You can now limit who can create chat rooms or initiate calls. So that way you can make sure that students can't create chat rooms without oversight from teachers, for example.
For more advanced customization, developers can tap into the Talk API to create custom integrations. They can write bots or automate actions using Nextcloud Flow.
So that was our third main area of improvement. Features that help your users more easily adjust to Nextcloud Talk.
And we know that with this we're on the right track because we already helped a lot of customers migrate to Nextcloud Talk. And Nextcloud Talk puts you as a customer in control. And control matters. So let me bring it back to the start of our presentation. Your digital workspace is more important than ever, and all these separate solutions cannot really help you. You need an integrated communication and collaboration solution. And that is what Nextcloud Talk is. Now, Kim, let's summarize.
So our focus was first on providing you a resilient communication platform, something that every organization needs in these uncertain times. For example, open source, the ability to run on-premise, and security, of course.
And second, we made sure you can continue to do all your work when you migrate to Nextcloud Talk. It's designed to be the perfect solution for your team chat, video meetings, remote training, and everything else you need to get your work done.
And third, we made improvements that lower the barrier to entry. You need to introduce Talk to your users, and that should go as smooth as possible.
So, Nextcloud Talk Munich improves all those aspects with a ton of new changes in the area of security, functionality, and user experience.
Yeah, for me, the dashboard is definitely the one that has the biggest impact on my day-to-day work.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also hear from a lot of customers that care about data leaks. And so for them, I think the sensitive conversation setting and the secure view with watermarks are really a big deal. Of course, these improvements are only additions to everything Nextcloud Talk can already do, like the integrated whiteboard, ability to edit documents, share tasks, locations, voice messages, and so on.
Yeah, and do easy polls, for example. Get summaries from long chats from the AI assistant, call transcripts, use breakout rooms, or export a list of participants from your webinar.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, I've noticed we talked a lot about the number 3 today, and wrapping up, we have 3 final things for our viewers.
So everything we talked about today is available right now. So the first thing you can do is to take Nextcloud Talk Munich for a test drive. You can install it on your Nextcloud server or use our instant trial.
And second, you can visit our release blog to find more details and read up on it. And we're also organizing a webinar where you can learn more.
And 3, last but not least, we should give a big thank you to our entire community who helped make this release happen. That includes not only those who contribute code, but also translation, documentation, and testing. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to us today. We love to hear what you think about Nextcloud Talk Munich.